So hello everyone, especially welcome to those who are here at the class for the first time. But Happy New Year to you all. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the New Year, time of, for some, of resolutions, intentions. I mean, maybe you prefer to sidestep the whole thing. Fair enough. But personally, I find it helpful at times to have a period for reflection or a sort of reset around practice. Asking the sort of questions: how has practice been in the last while, the last year or so? Has it changed or has it deepened over the last year? And maybe you can discern something, maybe you're not sure, but what might be clearer is there a natural follow-on from that, a natural follow-on from the last year, from what's been happening, what you've emphasized. On the recent online retreat we had, there was a retreatant told me she was having a year exploring subtlety this past year. And yeah, that was her particular emphasis. And by about midway through the year, something had needed to change, but it was a helpful emphasis. So yeah, and a reset, I think it can remind us of what we're doing in the practice. So shake up habits, certain habits of practice. And there's always going to be habits around engagement. That superficial tendency. One of the renderings of Bhante rendered the fetter of adherence to rites and rituals as ends in themselves, this tendency to just taking a superficial look at a practice and automatically engaging with it after a while. So reset can help us come to practice afresh. Just some simple sort of basic reminders to be aware, remembering to come to yourself, to come to your own being at times during the day, maybe just for a few seconds. Perhaps reminders to look for what stimulates interest in practice. Where is the interest? In this moment, where is it? And going with that, following that interest. And then that reset might involve just making the intention to be aware, to be present, clear and explicit. I think there's a link for me between awareness and renunciation. Renunciation is not necessarily a very popular word in practice, with its associations of giving things up, but and I'm not the best giver-upper in the world, but I find I have a certain sort of love of this word and what it means. So I think when we commit to being aware, even just commit to being aware in the moment, when we remember the present moment, we're giving up or letting go of habits in that moment, habits that to some degree give us some pleasure, security, comfort. And if you like, there's when we go towards those habits, there's some sort of reduction in maybe feelings of neutrality or anxiety or instability, I'm not quite sure where I stand. Our habits let us know where we stand, even if it's not a particularly helpful place. So when we're aware, if you like, we give up or renounce in that moment prioritizing, seeking sense pleasures, worldly pleasure. And we're orienting towards the less certain pleasures of mindfulness and wisdom, of simplicity, uncertainty, being with what's happening, whatever that is. So there's somewhat unknown rewards compared to our sort of habitual satisfactions. When we connect with what is, we connect with what's often a mixed bag. But each moment of choosing awareness strengthens our capacity to be with that mixed bag, whatever it is, and it lessens our reliance on sense pleasures for what's ultimately a deeper satisfaction. So if you like, I was thinking this phrase, new year, new you, which is hard to say with a slightly cold tongue. New year, new you. And I think with this practice, there's potential for new you in each moment that, awareness is prioritized. And because awareness only happens in the present moment, each moment actually is a new you. Each moment is fresh and new. And what we have when we prioritize awareness is the potential for wisdom realizing that in a deeper way. So renunciation, if you like, brings potentially great rewards to us. It's through that momentary choice away from habitual sort of distractions or getting caught up in, and just being with all those things we get caught up in, but from a different perspective, from the perspective of awareness and right view. I just want to finish with a little quote I have in my books of quotes that I've written down over the past sort of 35 or so years. And this one is from way, way, way back, and it's just a tiny snippet from a teacher called Andrew Cohen. And he's been somewhat discredited these days for sort of overly rigorous and uncompromising way of communicating his teachings. But I'm just going to read you a snippet of this, what he says about, he says, renunciation is where you're allowing yourself to be obedient to the call of the heart, to that yearning in your heart. Renunciation will keep that spontaneous and natural interest in freedom and allows it to manifest and express itself uninhibitedly. So renunciation is what allows us to follow that movement towards freedom from and following that call of the heart, rather than the call of the habits, the call of what's usual, what's part of who I think of as who I am. And just allowing that sense of who I am to expand and expand more and more. So the rest of the quote, which I may read at some point, you never know, is more uncompromising than that first bit, but I wanted to give you a flavour of his more mellow side first. Okay, so I'll leave it there if you'd like to set up for practice.